welcome to my channel Natural Biology. This is Shankar sir. Hope you are good, doing best. Today I am going to explain you about common diseases in human. Okay, so we are learning the chapter 7 Human Health and Disease from the NCERT class 2 biology. So every point, every line from the NCERT new book, so I will cover here. Okay, let's start the video without late. So here in the previous class I have explained about health. Okay, what is mean by health, the definition of the health, how to achieve the good health, and also I have explained about the diseases, different types of diseases and the categories. Okay, so this is about some common diseases in human. Okay, so we get the disease. There are many reasons I have told you in the previous class. The link will be given in the description. Previous 2 classes link I will be given in the description. Okay, once watch that video. If you are listening for the first time, just do support my channel, subscribe my channel, if possible like, share, comment. Okay, here the word pathogens. What are pathogens? Pathogens are such type of organisms which cause disease to us. Okay, so NCERT given the definition, disease causing organisms. Disease causing organisms are called pathogens, and their study means which type of pathogens are present, they cause which type of diseases. The complete study of pathogens is known as pathology. Okay, almost all the parasites are pathogens only. They cause disease to us. If a pathogen cause disease to us, okay, so that is a pathogen or parasite, and who are affected, getting affected, we are getting the disease, so then we are the host. So we can see here parasitism, parasitic relationship. If there is a parasitism nothing but it is an association of 2 organisms where one organism get benefit and another one is getting harm. Here who is getting benefit? Parasite is getting benefit. It is drawing food from us. Okay. Who is getting harm? Host is getting harm. Okay, it causes harm to us. Okay, so such type of relationship is called parasitism. So almost all the parasites are pathogens. NCERT given the lines. Okay, keep in mind. If we talk about the parasites, they may be different types. Based on their location, they may be ectoparasites and endoparasite. Means parasite lives on the body surface of the host. If they are living on the host body surface, they are called ectoparasites. For example, lice present on our head. Okay, small insects called lice present on our head, ticks on the dog. So these are the ectoparasites present on the body surface, outer surface. Endoparasites, as you know that they live inside the body. Okay, they live inside the body, endoparasites. If they are living inside the body, they may be in the cells, or maybe in the tissues or in the body cavities. Okay, again there will be classification, but no need here. Okay, at NCERT level that is not required. Okay, so endoparasite lives inside the body like worms, helminthes worms, protozoans, bacteria lives inside the body. They enter into our body. They are called endoparasite. And there is one more classification of these parasites: monogenetic parasites and digenetic parasites. If a parasite completes its life cycle in a single host called monogenetic, if it is required 2 hosts called digenetic. For example, malaria, okay, disease caused by plasmodium. So this plasmodium requires 2 hosts. Its primary host is a female Anopheles mosquito and the secondary host is the man. Likewise, it requires 2 hosts to complete its life cycle. Then we can use the term digenetic parasites. Okay. To pathogens, first they enter into our body. Okay, first they enter. How they enter? In what way it will spread to other person? What is the mode of transmission I have given there? Will explain. First they enter into our body, then multiply, increase their number. After increasing in their number, they disturb our activities. So they interfere with normal body activities. They interfere or the disturb or normal activities. Then they bring out morphological and functional change. They bring out some change in the body. So because of that change, we get the symptoms and signs of the disease. So we will be affected. We get the disease. Okay. So how pathogens spread from one person to another person? Small interruption. Power is gone. Okay. Welcome back. So we are learning about how pathogens transmit. What is the mode of transmission from an infected person to healthy person? Okay. So there are different methods of transmission, but in our NCERT, in different diseases like in typhoid, pneumonia, common cold, okay, malaria, what are the methods are given? That methods of transmission or modes of transmission, I have made a simple flowchart. Then you can understand easily which type of disease transmit by which type of method. Okay, so we can see some of the diseases transmit direct contact. So when we touch the body, physical contact, so we get the diseases. So the diseases which spread by direct contact are chickenpox, smallpox. These are by normal contact, normal physical contact, they may transmit. And tetanus is a disease also we get directly, but when we fall down, if injury happens, so that transmit from the soil. So tetanus causing, okay, bacteria, Clostridium tetani directly enter from the soil to our body. Okay, so that is a direct contact with soil. And it's also a direct contact, but it is a sexual contact. Okay, so here we have to understand. So this is the direct contact, physical touch from the infected person, direct contact through soil, and direct sexual contact, AIDS. Droplet method. Okay, when a person, infected person, cough, sneeze, some of the droplets release from their mouth and nose. So in these droplets, the virus or bacteria, pathogens are present. So cold, common cold. Okay, we have to write common cold, pneumonia, diphtheria, tuberculosis. These are the diseases spread by droplet method. Okay, when a person coughs, sneezes, so these diseases transmit to the healthy person. Okay, or when person sneeze or cough, the droplet fall on the objects. Okay, objects like pens, books, utensils, keyboards, computer keyboards, whatever the things. Okay, so if it touch that things also, the disease affected to healthy person. So diseases may spread by some objects also, like common cold, and even AIDS also through contaminated objects. Okay, like blades, syringes. So it may transmit. And through vectors. Okay, we can use the term. Even the diseases transmit, we can also call vector-borne diseases, airborne diseases, likewise. So diseases transmit through vectors. Vectors are the organisms which transfer the disease-causing microorganism from infected person to healthy person. For example, malaria. Okay, malaria. Female Anopheles mosquito is a vector. Like filariasis. Okay, female Culex mosquito is a vector. Like plague, some animals also act like a vector. So plague is transmitted by rat and rat fleas. Okay, rats and rat fleas. And also rabies. So this disease transmit by what? Dog bite. Okay, we can write these two diseases because of animal bites or through vectors only. Okay, we could not write in vectors, but we can give the heading animal bite. That is better. Okay, animal bite, rabies and plague. Come to contaminated food and water. Some of the diseases transmit through contaminated food and water. Contamination means polluted food, polluted water. Okay, cholera, typhoid, and dysentery, amoebic dysentery, and ascariasis. These are the diseases transmit through contaminated food and water. So this flowchart helps to you to simplify the topic mode of transmission of different types of diseases. Okay, like when pathogens have to adapt in human beings, if pathogen enter into our body, it have to adapt some conditions. If it is enter into the stomach, stomach produce hydrochloric acid, it is a strong acid. Okay, so they have to fight with the low pH of the stomach, or in stomach some enzymes are released, digestive enzymes are released, so the pathogen may be digested or may be killed because of this hydrochloric acid, strong acid. So pathogen have some adaptations. Adaptations are nothing but some change to adjust in our body, to survive in our body, like some weapons, shields. So pathogens have different mechanisms. They have developed different adaptation methods. Okay, for example, a pathogen may develop protective cuticle over its body. Thereby they can survive from the acid and the enzymes. Or they develop a cyst wall. Okay, a different types of cyst wall. Or it may have complex life cycle. Many pathogens release more number of eggs. Reproduction, higher reproductive ability they have. Complex life cycle they have. Okay, so likewise, or if they enter into the pathogen host body, they have to absorb the food. For that reason, they have developed hooks and suckers. Sucking purpose, they have suckers. Or for attachment purpose, they have hooks. Likewise, some of the modifications are done in the pathozoans. That modifications are nothing but adaptations. So these for help to survive better in the host body. Okay. So pathogens have to adapt in the human at low pH in the stomach and enzymes. So different types of mechanisms developed in the pathogen. Some of the pathogens may produce anti-enzymes against these enzymes. Okay. Likewise, they get survival. Now we can classify the pathogens into categories. Pathogens can be classified into virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoans and helminths worms. Okay, helminths worms. Same word. Means we get different types of diseases because of different types of pathogens. Broad category: viral diseases, bacterial diseases, fungal diseases, protozoan diseases and helminths worm diseases. Okay, so in this class we will complete only viral diseases. Okay, viral diseases. The diseases of virus can be categorized here. These all are viral diseases. So question may be asked, which among the following is a viral disease, or which among the following is a bacterial disease? Likewise, classification of diseases also important. Okay. So in NCERT, only one viral disease is mentioned, that is common cold. Okay, common cold. Why it is called common cold? Because it is the most infectious disease in the human being. Okay, many people get this disease. Most common in the human beings. A person may be affected by several times, and in his lifetime he will be affected more because of common cold. Likewise, the disease is called common cold. And this common cold is caused by, what is the cause of this disease? A group of rhinovirus. Do you know more than 200 types of virus can cause common cold? Among the most important virus is a group of rhinovirus. Okay, rhinovirus. So this rhinovirus cause common cold, causative microorganism. Okay, it affect to nose and respiratory tract. Okay, common cold affect to nose and this respiratory tract, mostly upper respiratory tract, nose, nasal cavity, pharynx. So these are the upper respiratory parts. In NCERT, one line also mentioned, that is not affect to the lungs. Okay, so not to lungs. It affect to nose and respiratory tract, but not to the lungs. So question will be framed. Question can be written. Which among the following symptoms are correct regarding common cold? Okay, in the statement they will be given common cold is cause effect to nose, respiratory tract and lungs. But in NCERT it is mentioned it is not effect to lungs. This point have to note down. Okay. Symptoms of the disease: nasal congestion, nothing but blockage of the nose, no proper breathing, discharge. Okay, discharge from the nose, like some mucus is produced, excessive mucus is discharged from the nose. Running nose. Okay, running nose, that is discharge. Sore throat. Okay, sore throat and headache, cough and tiredness. These are the symptoms of the disease. So some of the symptoms also we have to remember. Okay, so nasal congestion, blockage of nose, discharge, excessive production of mucus from the nose, like running nose, tiredness, headache, sore throat, and voice become little hoarse. Hoarseness also symptoms of the common cold. And it is last for 3 to 7 days. Okay, common cold lasts for 3 to 7 days without taking any medicine also. It will be cured within 3 to 7 days. Okay, this point also mentioned in the NCERT. Okay, and the disease spread by, transmitted by which method? Droplet method. When a person cough, sneeze, the droplets release into the airs. So in this way it will spread to the other persons. Okay, even through utensils also, objects also it may transmit. Contaminated objects like pens, pencils, and keyboards, cupboards, handles of the doors, okay, doorknobs, okay, so computer keyboards. Likewise, these objects, when a person, infected person sneeze or cough, the droplets fall on that object. If we touch that object, so it will spread to us, it will affect to us. So in this way, some of the objects also helps in transmission of this common cold. So these are the symptoms given in the NCERT, have to remember. And some other viral diseases I have written, and their causative microorganisms also I have written. Not much important, but we should have idea about these common diseases. Viral diseases called influenza, poliomyelitis, rabies, chikungunya, rubella, and dengue, measles, chickenpox, smallpox, AIDS, and recently COVID-19. So why I have not written some of the virus name? This is the disease name and these are the virus name, because it is very simple to remember. Influenza caused by influenza virus, poliomyelitis caused by polio virus. So name itself having, okay, the virus name. Rabies, rabies virus, chikungunya, chikungunya virus, and rubella, rubella virus, dengue, dengue virus. Okay, so no need of confusion. Now these are mentioned particularly in different color because the word is different. Okay, like measles caused by rubeola virus. Which virus? Rubeola virus. Chickenpox is caused by varicella virus, and smallpox caused by variola virus. Chickenpox, varicella, smallpox, variola, and AIDS is caused by HIV virus, human immunodeficiency virus, and finally COVID-19 is a disease name caused by coronavirus. Okay, so these are the viral diseases. So among the viral diseases in NCERT, common cold is mentioned. So all the points of common cold have to note down and have to remember. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your patience. In the next class, I will discuss about bacterial diseases and fungal diseases. Protozoan diseases, helminthius diseases already I have completed. Once you watch that video, in the playlist there will be a headline with human health and disease. So there you can check. Okay, thank you once again.